My name is Mark Fisher. I'm the foreman of the conservatories at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden and curator of tropical plants. And what we're looking at here is the arum, the Titan lily, which is really important to us because it's the world's largest inflorescence. That way down inside of here is actually we have the male and female flowers. They have bloomed in other parts of the United States. The last one to ever bloom in New York State was in 1939. And that's why it's so exciting, because for any of us to see something like this is a long time.
I'm Leanne Lavin. I'm the Director of Public Affairs here at Brooklyn Botanic Garden. And these last few days have been an amazing time at the garden because we have in bloom one of the rarest plants in the world. It's Amorphophallus titanum. It's the largest and smelliest plant in the whole world.
Now, why does it stink so much? Well, because this plant here it's pollinated by flies, sweat bees, and carrion beetles. All animals are attracted by anything that is rotting.
What happens when it opens, the female flowers open up first, and the female flowers are located down in this area, and it smells like a dead rat. So the smell only lasts just a few hours.
I can tell you this, when it really starts stinking, and it's only for the first 8 hours of blooming, the stink really goes everywhere. It went all the way downstairs, it was everywhere in the hallway, so it really goes far, far, far away. I'm sure that in the wild you can smell it from miles away.
Because the smell was so bad, we knew that the flowers were receptive to pollen. We were able to get the pollen from a plant in Virginia that had flowered over the weekend. So what happened was they sent us the pollen FedEx. The plant propagator, Alex Chiari, with a brush went ahead and was able to pollinate those flowers, okay? So you're really not going to smell much because there's no need for it to smell because it's already been pollinated. But what is going on today, and you'll see that the back was cut out, we put the patch back on it, was to get the pollen from the male flowers, which are receptive today.
So as you see here, these here are the female flowers. They already have accepted pollen yesterday. So they remain receptive, meaning they can accept pollen for 24 hours only. After that, the male flowers that are up here, they're kind of like yellow bumps, those will start shedding the pollen. The reason why I collect the pollen is because if there is another plant in bloom somewhere around the world and someone needs pollen, we will be very happy to donate this pollen. Why? Well, if someone like us or other institutions can pollinate a plant, that will mean that we'll be able to produce seeds, so more plants, making these plants more available and more widely cultivated.
If we were successful pollinating it, it'll start to collapse, but this will remain intact so the fruit can develop down here. If the fruit develops, what's inside the fruit are the seeds, and we'll be able to collect the seed, germinate the seed, and get some more plants. Underground, what's going on is there's a structure called a tuber. It's like a giant potato. It weighed 40 pounds this spring. So we had that, planted it. So a little over 2 weeks ago when it started coming out of the ground, we didn't know if it was going to be a leaf or a flower. Usually it goes through a dormant period, and it was coming out of the dormant period. So as it was coming out of the ground, it usually just sends up one leaf. This year, when it came out, one of the first parts to come out was the top of the spadix, and it was lemon yellow, so we knew it was not a leaf that was emerging, we knew it was a flower, okay? So that was just 2 weeks ago, so you can see how fast this thing has grown in 2 weeks.
We want to teach people about the excitement, the thrill, the romance, and the beauty of plants. And indeed today, people have come to not only see Baby, as we've affectionately called her, but also to be able to see the beauty of these lily pool terraces here, for example, or some of our other collections. Brooklyn Botanic Garden is known as a garden within a garden. And as a cultural institution, I like saying to people, you know, you can go to any museum and see fine art, which of course is beautiful, but here every day you come and it's always different because of nature.
Download this episode and more TERRA at lifeonterra.com.